before we start talking about the legend that you are, let's talk about what you're doing these days, because a lot of people are real interested in Nick the Quick.
Well, Jim, thanks for having me. Right now, I just got hired by the Atlanta Hawks to be an assistant coach, player development. So, I'm working with the guards, guys, of course, everybody knows Trey Young, Lou Williams, Bogey, DeLon Wright, just, helping those guys fine tuning their games and, just enjoying being back on the sidelines.
What's the thing that you try to impart on these young men today from your experience when you played?
Take every advantage of everything that you can, because for one, it's very quick. It's going to go quick. So you got to enjoy every moment and take advantage of all good situations that may come your way, whether it's on or off the court. And just to go out there and your minutes that you get, especially for guys that are backups, those are your minutes to do your job and do your job well. A lot of guys get caught up and, wanting to play more than starters, wanting to go out there and do their own thing. And sometimes it's just not called for you to do that. And, I got to kind of hone them in just to, let them know that, you got to play your role, and every minute that you get on the court, you take advantage of it.
Do you find some of these guys are in awe of you because you played for the Lakers and the reputation and all the good and all the great things that you accomplished?
Not really. I never talk about myself, so I just try to help those guys. I have my turn and I just try to help those guys. There's sometimes they want to bring stuff up, but I don't toot my own horn like that. So
but you can tell that they just eat up on every word that you say and that you give to them, because you've been there, you've done that, so you know what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah, that's kind of like the reason why I continue to do it, because I've been in their shoes. I can help them navigate through the good and the bad, the highs and the lows. And I'm coming from a place where I just want that person to succeed. I don't care nothing else but just trying to help them succeed and be a better basketball player, because I know this could be tough for young men, especially at the point guard position, which is the hardest position in the game. There's a lot of, thrown on your shoulders. So I just try to help them navigate through it. And, I do get the respect from the guys, and I really appreciate that, because if not, it'd be a lot harder for me if I didn't.
Can you tell everybody how you got the nickname of Nick the Quick?
That was Chick Hearn. It was the late great Chick Hearn. I had, several nicknames growing up as a kid, but when I got to LA, Chick was just throwing them out there. Nick at Night, Nick the Quick. So, the Quick is the one that stuck with me the most.
And you liked it, didn't you?
I actually did. And now people, they talk about me pretty bad. They talk about Nick used to be quick. I get that a lot.
What did playing for the Lakers mean to you, not only as your development as a basketball player, but as your development as a young man giving into the community?
Well, for me, it was kind of surreal, coming from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and just, I came in the early 90s and right behind Magic, the 80s Showtime. And, people would always ask me about, trying to fulfill Magic shoes. I'm like, shoes is not, nobody's filling those shoes. So we wanted to try to create our own identity. And, I didn't really feel any pressure because I was young. I just wanted to play basketball, and I never knew anything about LA and Hollywood, except they made great movies and the LA Lakers and stuff like that. So when I got out there, it was kind of surreal. It was like coming from Wisconsin and, the Midwest and Cincinnati. It's a different place. It's a different place with a lot of great opportunities to make for yourself on and off the court. And, so some of the things I've learned was just staying true to myself, staying grounded. Magic, I had several talks with Magic. He was a great mentor to me. And, you know, he would always say it's all about winning. It's all about winning, whether it's on the court or off the court. It's all about winning. So some of those are some of the things that stuck with me.
Since he was such a big part of the development of you as a basketball player, were you in a little bit of awe at the beginning of the relationship? Because here's this superstar that's helping you to get started.
Hmm. Well, unfortunately, I was just in awe of one basketball player, and that was Michael Jordan. When I first had a chance to see him, Magic was just so down to earth, you know. So he was easy to approach. He was easy to talk to. So it was just like when you saw Magic, the first thing he doing is smiling at you, you know, and talking trash to you, you know. So he just, you know, pulled everything down and just made you feel really comfortable, you know, right away, you know. And that was really great because a person that big, you know, you don't know what to expect. And Magic right away, he just let you know, I'm gonna let you know what to expect. Relax, young fella. I'm Magic, but just relax, you know. So he made it easy.
Oh, that made it just so it's so easy. Like you talk about the transition of you getting to be a pro and take into all the things that the Lakers were all about. And I'd like you to talk about what it meant and what you found out it meant to be a Laker.
I mean, the tradition is real. You know, it's not something that, you know, the LA fans, you know, take for granted. You know, they love their Lakers. I just wish, you know, when I was there in my time, I wish we could have won, you know, because that's what it was all about at the end of the day. I can remember after one of our games when Magic was coaching us, when he took over the team, and he was kind of ticked off at us. You know, we had a bad showing, and you know, Magic was just like, "Coop," you know how Magic get when he get to telling the stories and going off. It's like, "Coop, Coop." He's like, "Yeah, they nice. They run around here. They got their cars. They got their jewelry and everything. But Coop, they ain't winning. Coop, they ain't winning. This is what it's about, winning." And that was like, I think I was a rookie that year, and you know, that was like, man, he ain't lying. We ain't winning. You know, so like he like early on put that in me, like, man, we got to win. Like at the end of the day, it's all about winning for this franchise because that's what matters. So
Because you found out very quickly with him as a lead player or as a coach, he didn't have a lot of patience with a lot of things.
no, he didn't. And you know, I tell people all the time, I thought Magic would have been a great coach, but you said it best just then. He didn't have a lot of patience at the time because he was just retiring, and plus, you know, he still could hoop. He still could hoop, and it's like today's game of basketball is different from when we played it. Our game of basketball is different from when Magic played it, and he saw the vision when they played the game. He wanted to instill that in us, but it was kind of the game was kind of changing, evolving a little bit, and you know, he was just, you know, there'd be times where he just gets so frustrated at us. But I thought he would have been a really good coach because one thing he could do is he can get you ready to play a game. He can get you motivated.
We heard, we've heard about some of his temper tantrums in the locker room, throwing things.
Yes, yes. He threw somebody's phone one day after a game, and poor little phone broke into 1,000 little pieces. So that was like, that was, wow, that was kind of, it was shocking. I felt sorry for the blackboard at the time.
Nick, how do you feel knowing that you are a piece of Laker history? Because when people talk about the great Laker teams and the great Laker players, you will always and forever will be mentioned in on that level.
Jim, I'm so laid back and nonchalant about stuff like that. You know, maybe I wish I was a different person when it came to stuff like that, and I can just, you know, say, well, I felt like this. To me, I just played basketball, and you know, I was just so fortunate enough to wear the purple and gold. And you know, maybe if I won a championship with the team, I probably would feel a different way. But you know, we were young. We weren't ready. It wasn't our time. But you know, I just look at it like, I think just playing with the Lakers, Jim, this is one thing I will say is that brought me a lot of attention. You know, there's people, you know, I see to this day, and they're always, I loved you with the Lakers. I loved you with the Lakers. And I'm just like, but we didn't do anything, you know. But you know, they still show the respect, they still show the love, and I really appreciate that. But I'm not big on stuff like that.
I know we talked about the biggest frustration that you had, not winning the championships and everything. But what about the best thing about being the Laker? What did you accomplish the most that you're most proud
Uh, you know, I think at the time it was kind of like the changing of the guard kind of a situation from the 80s to the 90s. And, you know, when I got there, we was like, didn't make the playoffs. And, you know, that stung my first year, my rookie year. And then the next year we bounced right back into the playoffs. And actually we won a series against Seattle. So then things started looking up. So to me, it was just, you know, the bond with the players. My guy Eddie Jones, you know, Eldon Campbell, Blotty, the young Kobe, Shaq, you know, D Fisher. Like just the bonding with the players is something that I'll never forget. And you know, as a kid and you're growing up and you're watching, you know, Lakers, you know, you probably should be in bed. I know I probably should have been in bed. So I would literally turn my contrast up and down, had the volume down. And my mom, every time I would hear her about to walk in my room, I just turned the contrast down. And just seeing that bright purple and gold, you know, floor, it just seemed like it just lit up everything. And then getting a chance to walk out there and play on that court, you know, every night, having one route to the Great Western, you know, to every game, just building up my routine, listen to my favorite Snoop Dogg album at the time, you know, things like that, you know, the Forum Club, you know, after victories, and you know, seeing the stars on the floor, man, seeing guys like Jim Hill with the microphone talking about us after the game, you know, Denzel, you know, Tom Cruise, and you know, those are some memories that you know you'll always remember.
it's really amazing. The stars came to see you. So
Yes.
that means, in a way, the stars, the Hollywood stars, the actors and actresses, they were kind of in awe of you and the rest of your teammates.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because you know, I don't think our team ever thought about it like that because, like I say, we were young and we just played the game of basketball. But Magic made quite sure that he let us know that he was like, "Hey, they came to see y'all. They came to see y'all put on the show. Y'all got to put on the show." So Magic let us know that you know you guys are stars in your own right.
You said you came along, and we all remember you came along when there was a young Kobe. Could you see the potential in him as to what he could attain in this league?
I think we all knew Kobe was going to be good and special, but we didn't know he would be that good and special. You know, we knew there was something there because Jim, when I tell you that the man used to do us so dirty in practice, it was ridiculous. And his drive, Jim, was something that we didn't have, you know, and he had it at an early age. He had it at an early age, which was he saw things differently than the way we saw it, and like he wanted to become legendary. You know, he wanted to become great. Those are things like he talked about, he manifested, and then it came to fruition. And we were just like, we want to hoop, we want to win. But he was like, I want to be great. You know what I'm saying? I want people to remember me. I want to be up there with MJ. Those are some of the things that he used to say. And that's 18 years old. And we, you know, we're, you know, a few years older than him. You know, we looking at, calm down, man. But, you know, he believed it. He believed in himself. And, you know, like I tell people all the time, he was so much ahead of us. It was ridiculous. And, you know, when he got his chance to prove everything, he put in the work already. You know, when it wasn't a game, Kobe put in the work in practices. So it became easy for him in the games. And, you know, everything that he accomplished, you know, he did everything at a hard level, you know, off the court, on the court, you know, practices wise. So the things that he talked about, he worked on everything he talked about and talked it into existence.
You know, one of the other things, Nick, about the Lakers is not only how you were successful and wanted to be successful on the court, but off the court as well. Because whenever there was an issue in the community, the Lakers were always one of the first teams there to help in the community, to give back to the community, to show people how much you love them because you knew that they loved you.
hmm Yeah, that was something I took from the Lakers as well. So when I went to different cities like Denver, Dallas, Golden State, I would do turkey giveaways, Christmas shoppings with Saint Nick. I started doing a lot of things that I hadn't done before, and it was a good feeling. It was a really good feeling. I learned all of that from LA. They were big in the LA community, and I really appreciate them for that, for instilling that in me.
Because the Lakers are known not only in the United States, but the Lakers are a worldwide brand.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you will always be known as a Laker.
Yes, I noticed that, Jim. I've noticed that, and like I said before, it's it's like it's cool, but I don't see it like that, because I was just playing the game that I love to play, and I had an opportunity to play for the Lakers, which I was very blessed and fortunate for that opportunity. And like I say, people remind me all the time that I'm a Laker for life, and I really appreciate that.